Hello there. A bit of a mixed bag of weather for the UK on Wednesday afternoon, with the northern half of the UK generally quite cloudy with some rain at times, especially for the northwest. It's quite windy as well across the northern half of the UK, but like with recent days, the best of the sunshine likely across the south. And that's because in the south we're closest to this ridge of high pressure which is extending in from the southwest, keeping things mostly fine and settled here. Further north though, we've got these weather fronts toppling around the high, this cold front then sinking south across the UK. A fairly weak feature, but quite a lot of isobars on the chart, hence why it's quite windy, particularly across the north. So a bit more detail then for you for this afternoon, and as I say, the northern half of the UK, generally speaking, quite cloudy. The wettest weather likely across parts of western and northern Scotland, particularly up over the hills and mountains where the rain and drizzle, whilst not particularly heavy, will be quite persistent. Blown on by quite a brisk and gusty west to northwest wind, that will punch some holes in the cloud though to the east of Scotland, perhaps into northeast England too. One or two spots of rain then for Northern Ireland, perhaps for northwest England, but come further south than that, here we've got the best chance of seeing some sunshine this afternoon. And of course parts of the Midlands and the south of England, in that sunshine it's going to feel quite warm with temperatures into the mid-20s, perhaps 26 or so in London. Progressively cooler the further northwest you get though, but with a bit of brightness to the east of Scotland we could well see 20 or so in Aberdeen. Now for the Wednesday evening, the rain and drizzle across northwest Scotland will push its way a bit further south with time, tending to fragment as it does so. So for northern England, parts of Wales, the Midlands, eventually into the southeast, very little in the way of rain on this weather front, just the odd spots here and there, so not much use for gardeners and growers, I'm afraid. But there will be quite a lot of cloud across many parts of the country tonight, so that means for most of us it's going to be quite a warm night with temperatures 13, 14 degrees for most, under any clearer breaks across the northern half of Scotland where we might just dip into single figures. So Thursday starting off on a fairly mild, if not quite warm note, albeit with a fair degree of cloud for many parts of the country. But I'm hopeful that as we go through the day through Thursday, if you start off cloudy, well, the skies should tend to brighten as we go on through the day. Probably taking longest across some parts of central and eastern England, but as we get through to the afternoon, you can see quite a lot of sunshine appearing on the map there. It should be quite a pleasant day for many places. The exception to this will be the far northwest of Scotland, Northern Isles once again, where the next weather front coming in off the Atlantic will bring some patchy rain and drizzle later. But in the sunshine though, it will be another warm afternoon, highs of 24 to 26 degrees across southern England, parts of South Wales doing quite well. And I think a bit warmer across the bulk of Scotland, where we've got a bit more in the way of sunshine compared to what we'll see through today. Now, more detail, of course, for the weather where you are can, of course, be found by checking out our social media channels. I'll see you again later. Bye.